Greetings, fellow humans. Here's another video from your friendly neighborhood JD Estrada. Some time ago, I did put a blog post that was titled "Calling All Friends." I will include the link to with this video, so you can see that I actually said out loud and in writing. So I have to keep my word that if I reached if I reached certain goals, I would do different videos or different things. On this occasion, I said that if I reached 3,500 followers on Twitter, I would record a video about what it's like being an indie author. So here we are. That's awesome. I'm actually almost at 3,600, and that's epic. That is epic. What can I say? So about being an indie author. When you're an indie author, this is like life. Life is not all good or bad. Nothing is all good or bad. And in the case of being an indie author, there are pros, there are cons, there are highs, there are lows. There are things that are wonderful and there are things that are aggravating. So instead of giving all the good or all the bad and then the ugly, let's mix it up and just talk. It's like a monologue and we're talking. But yeah, so let's start with one of the challenges, sustainability. My tongue did not cooperate momentarily, but we will get through this. Success is defined in several ways by different people. To me, if you're happy doing what you're doing, you are successful, and that's not the only way to measure it. Every person, it's like love. Love has, thousands of definitions. So does success. People consider making money success. In that case, I am not a total failure, but I am not successful. I am getting more successful, but I am far from successful. What I want to say with this is that sustainability, making a living being an indie author is not easy. Some people make it big, other people's don't. Other people's nice. Other people don't. Some people get a break, other people don't. Some people reach a massive audience, other people's mid-size or whatnot. It's different for everyone. In my case, I am still not at a level where I can make this sustainable. I can't live off this by any means. And saying otherwise would be a bit irresponsible. People, I'm for everyone following their dreams, but doing it in a responsible manner, or at least, being very clear on what to expect. Being an indie author, and especially being an indie author in Puerto Rico, it's not the easiest thing. It does make for an interesting story, and I'm not the only one. So there's a couple of people that are working on that. And the cool part is that it's one thing is to learn from one another. Another thing is seeing what works for one person is not going to work for another person, because it's all about personality. Being an indie author, at least in my case, you're quite in contact with me. I don't have a PR representative. I don't have an assistant. Hey, bring me water. I'm feeling parched. I don't have that. I do have a wife that helps me a lot. I do have friends that are fans, friends that support me massively. I have a family that cares about me, and in that sense, I'm very successful, and I'm very blessed. But in regards to it being sustainable, I'm working on it, and there's stuff that I could do. I could try to put ads on the blog. I want to keep the blog as pure as possible, because the blog is not there to make money. I could use it as a marketing tool, but it's not a marketing tool. It's me writing about life and about different things that I think other people could relate to, and things that I need to write. And luckily people have read stuff and it has helped them, and that's awesome. That's really what it's about for me, making a positive impact with what I write. Another challenge, the reviews. Getting a review when you're an indie author is quite the challenge. I don't pay for reviews. Every review I've gotten is people being kind enough, not only people were kind enough not only to pick up my book, but to read it and then to write a review about it. It is a challenge to get reviews, and saying otherwise would be me posing like, yeah, I get reviews every day. I don't get reviews every month. It is a big challenge, and the thing is that if you get 10 reviews, the algorithms in Amazon click in. If you get 25, you get more. You'll become more visible for X or Y reason. That's part of why reviews are so important. Apart from that, technically, word of mouth. A review is written word of mouth. If that makes any sense. And the more word of mouth, I think the more sustainable the success. Meaning that instead of being a flash in the pan, if people start to become aware of you organically, and not because it's getting shoved in your face like, oh, you got to read this. I think it's more long lasting. And I really work on things being as long lasting as possible, which is another great thing, the creative control. Pretty much, I do all the writing, and pretty much, no, I do all the writing and all the editing. And that's a fact. Some people hate the editing. I understand completely. Editing is not fun, but it does make you a better writer. The more you edit, the better you will get as a writer. And, you just learn to write better and to not commit the first batch of mistakes. And, eventually it'll reduce, or at least you'll pull off new mistakes and you'll learn new stuff. But at least for me, editing has given me a lot of discipline, and that's super important when you're writing. But the creative control, being able to actually, people go, where did you get that idea? And I'm like, man, I'm just weird, and I watch a lot of stuff, and I read a lot of stuff, and I listen to a lot of stuff, and I just love mashing things together that do mesh together, and just people hadn't seen that it meshed together. Uh, and also, basically, I've released a novel. I've released, but I haven't. I didn't immediately release the sequel. This is, since it's my rules, which is brilliant and wonderful. I released not one, not two, but three poetry collections, a short story collection, and I'm working on several other projects while I work on the sequel, because that's the way I work. Um, eh, I have that liberty because I have a well-paying job. I have people that support me, and I don't have anyone telling me what I should or shouldn't do with what I write. That is fascinating, liberating, wonderful, incredible, amazing. Any other positive word that you can think of, it's all of that and more. And it's true. It is a refreshing take, because a lot of what I've done in my day to day, it doesn't end up being mine. It ends up being a collaborative effort, which isn't a bad thing. But when it comes to writing, you have to compromise a lot. And with my writing and being an indie author, I have to compromise nothing. I can do things exactly the way I want to. And a lot of times people ask me from the first book, why did you do that? Or why did this character did that? And I go like, man, I'm not sure. I'll see what I can do about it. But on the inside, I'm just laughing, because that it was me setting up things that will happen later. That's always fun. Um, and that, there's good, there's bad, there's challenges, there's stuff that makes you ponder and think. But never do I question if it's worth it. Every day, I'm reminded how much is worth it. Every ounce of effort that I put into it. People are very kind. People who read me are massively kind. And that they read me, that anyone reads me at all is a godsend. That people, get a positive, anything positive from what I write, that is beautiful. And I'll keep doing it because, and eventually, I won't have to worry about it being sustainable because it will be sustainable. I see how it's growing bit by bit, but I've never been one to rush things, so why start now? So that's pretty much my take on being an indie author. A lot of rambling. If you have any question, shoot it either Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, the blog, here on YouTube, wherever you're more comfortable, and you will get a reply. That is pretty much the way I operate. If you write, I will reply. You can ask pretty much anyone who's ever written if I reply or not, or how fast I reply. So by all means, give it a shot. But for now, peace, love, and Mikey rolls. Cheers.